Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. It is Saturday, February 5th at 10:13 a.m. I am still recovering from a long, slow-moving illness. Um, I'm good, symptom-free, except for I have a cough that comes every now and again. Feel pretty good, but when it comes up, it sounds worse than I feel, honestly. So I've been trying to avoid doing this just so I wouldn't get myself to a point where I have a coughing spell. But um, wanted to first I wanted to do a little wrap up on the Minnesota game. Stand behind something that I did on Twitter, which I have no problem with. Even more I think of it, and look ahead to the Michigan game today at 2:30 at Mackey Arena. So Purdue beat Minnesota 88-73. You guys all know that. Excellent game for many people. Jaden Ivey continues to play extremely well. Ivy had 21 points, 10 rebounds. Let's see. He didn't. He continued to shoot a lot, 8 to 19, but pretty solid game. Relatively efficient. 4 assists. His turnovers are down from where they were earlier in the season. He had 2 turnovers. Um, but the big story for me, of course, is Eric Hunter. Eric Hunter doing what a lot of us begged someone to do. We didn't know who it was going to be. But Eric Hunter has been good on both sides of the ball. He's been solid defensively, very good offensively versus Minnesota, knocking down big shots confidently, taking shots when they're needed. Probably the most important thing is just being confident out there and driving the ball when it's given to him. As teams sag over towards Ivy and he's open, he's just taking advantage of it and driving. So because of that, he's having efficient games too. 20 points, 8 of 11 shooting, hitting most of his free throws, 4 for 6, 3 rebounds, a couple assists, and no turnovers. That's a pretty big deal. Top of that, Sasha Stefanovic is knocking his shot down. Purdue looks pretty good. They're shooting 3 pointers, 50%. That 50% they made versus Minnesota game before. I think they were up in the 60s. That'll gloss over a lot of problems, but one of the big things that I've pled with this team to do is hit the free throws. Hitting 75% of your free throws, you're going to be in pretty good shape, and of course they are. The defense, though, continues to have problems and lapses, and when it does, teams get led back into games. They did it again in the second half versus Minnesota. Purdue fans are upset that I said this is a Painter issue. I'll continue to say that because Painter's got to stop those things before they become a serious problem. Versus Minnesota, thank goodness, Minnesota's not a very good team. They've lost, I think, 7 out of 8. Now, maybe Painter put that into his calculus. He wants them to get mentally tougher. It's what people keep saying. We've seen this before, but there's some beauty in the timeout. You can call a timeout and stem off a lot of problems, make adjustments, do things that coaches can do, and easily not let a team lose a lead completely. Versus Iowa, they lost a 18-point game or 18-point lead in a matter of moments. Versus Ohio State, they lost a 20-point lead in a what 16-minute period. Versus Minnesota, they lost an 8-point lead in about a 4-minute period. It keeps happening. And people can be mad at me. I don't really care. If you don't see that this is a pattern, you're not watching the game closely enough because there is a pattern. And to say I blame it on the coach, I will do that again because that's the guy that gets paid all the money to make adjustments and to make things better. I appreciate the fact they want to Painter wants to make the team tougher, have them grow through things and deal with it. That's a good thing. But at the same time, I don't see much progress happening here. So maybe it's my limitation, but I'm okay with admitting that. And I still think this is a problem of coaching that Painter needs to make some adjustments as much as the team. Purdue, I mentioned this on Twitter that Purdue is 91st in the nation in defense and first in offense. So obviously that offense is fantastic. It will be fantastic. It is great. But being 91st best in defense is a big deal. It's a glaring problem. And a lot of fans just say, oh, it's fine. Just let the offense override the defense. The problem is statistically, in the past, I think 5 or 6 years, there's only been one team that's been outside the top 10 in defense and offense that has made it to the Final Four. It's not a coincidence when these teams make it to the Final Four. We've looked at Purdue teams that have had the look of a Final Four team. The one that had the 17-game winning streak surely did have a little bit of that, and they were powerful on offense and defense, but Haas's elbow and other things may have led them to not getting to the Final Four. Of course, Hummel's team looked like they were going to be a Final Four team. The the baby Boilers twice, actually, '09, '10, '10, '11. They both look like Final Four teams. And then you go back further, old guys like me, you remember Glenn Robinson teams, you remember the Three Amigos. The problem is, guys like me, we can say we thought these teams had Final Four looks, but we never saw them become Final Four teams. So when we see problems that look like they're major problems, like defense letting teams back into game time after time after time, and the lack of improvement, if you want to connect dots on a chart, Purdue's not getting much better defensively, and they're not going to. A good friend of mine reached out to me, said, well, we just kind of got to deal with them as they are. They just are what they are. A lot of truth there. But at the same time, you expect a little bit more. And I expected a little bit more coming in this season, especially at the early part of it when they had a different look. So to be skeptical of this team being a Final Four team, I think it's okay. If you want to get deeper in, you can do the same thing that I did. I've been doing the last couple of days and say, does this team really have the look of a Final Four team? It's up for you to decide, but I don't think we know. The one thing I do know is that 91st in America in defense is a glaring weakness and a major problem that this team will have to overcome with a wide array of things. One of them will be the offense has to kind of never let its foot off the gas, and we don't see that yet either. This offense tends to come and go at times. They'll have lapses. That happens. Every team does. But it's going to be a hard thing for them to get where some of us think they could be at the end of the season. Thanks to our sponsors, Martin Vintage, Gridiron Metalworks, and AJ's. They continue to make the show and the website possible. We appreciate it. Like I said, Purdue will play Michigan today at 2:30. Hoping for a complete game. That's all I want, and I want to see improvement. And it's easy to look improved in front of the paint crew. I think they will look great again. Michigan is a weird team. They haven't put many complete games together this season, so I look for Purdue to beat them by 12 to 15 points. Hopefully I'm correct there, but it'll be a different ball game, I think, in Chrysler. So that's about it. Hope you have a great day, and if you have any questions, comments, leave them below. Look forward to speaking to everybody. Hopefully my voice and my cough are almost gone the next day or so. Look forward to continue to talk to you here about our Boilers. Talk to you soon. God bless you. Hammer down. We'll see you.